So welcome. Again, the CEO of JETS. We are looking to service day schools and religious schools, supplementary schools, and anyone who has any kind of connection with Jewish education in the field of STEM combined studies. I think there's a great big need out there for it, and this is the wave of the future. Jewish education should be the leaders of the future, and sometimes we're not. So we're trying to put us back there. So I'm going to share my screen and walk you through one of our sample sessions, and then we'll talk about where this is going and how it can and will affect you. I'm also going to share this link with you. We call it Walk and Talk. If you want to follow along either on this device or a second device, you can. This link will be blocked by next week, so you can share it with others this week, and then by next week it'll be subscription only. But if you want to share, I'm also recording this session and I'll send it to you afterwards. So if you want to share this with someone in your field of education and just to show them what we're doing, then please do so. But next week you'll need a username and password to get in. And all the intellectual property is ours. It's not meant for copy. So once someone does subscribe to the J-Hub, which is what we're calling our J-STEM lessons, this is what you'll see this. You'll click on Start Course, and welcoming Noach, Rabowski, Avi Weberman, and D. Hamburg. We just started, so you're not too late. If you want to follow along with me, I put the link in the chat box. So here we go. You click on Experiencing Sinai Webinar Version. If you click on these three bars in the top, it fills up your screen a little more. The concept, like I said, is to combine Judaic studies with science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. We are going to start with a scene of Mount Sinai, the revelation of the Torah. Just looking at it here, any details that jump out at you in terms of something being unique, obviously this is not an exact replica. We don't have pictures of that time. But if we could draw it, and that is one of the activities at the end, sneak preview, what would you draw? So if you are following along on your own device, you can type in a response and you can put it here. And you can see what other people have written. And if you're just watching my screen, you're also welcome to do that. So anybody want to shout out anything you see, again, on this picture that is unique to the Revelation story? Answers welcome. This is an interactive session. Avi, Andrea, Noach, and Mr. or Ms. Hamburg, do you have audio? Can you hear and see us? Rifki, any thoughts? No? Okay, you're coughing.
I can finally hear.
Oh, okay, great. How are you and where are you? Hello.
Hi.
Hi, this is Avi Weberman. I'm sorry.
Where are you?
I'm good. I'm in the media center. I'm on my phone, so I'm trying to figure out how to do this.
I mean, what city?
Miami Beach, Hebrew Academy. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. And Andrea, where are you?
I'm in Canada, JPPS, Bialik, Montreal.
Montreal. Oh, welcome. Okay, so anything you noticed uniquely about this image here? What jumps out at you? No, we're having a shy audience tonight. Okay.
Do you want us to talk in or write in?
Talk right now.
Okay, so to me, it's the sunburst or the light.
Okay, that's a nice answer. Sunburst. There used to be candy like that. Here, so 2 people said sunburst, 5 people said light. You can see what other people's responses are. Just taking an educational step back. This is called Answer Garden. It's also a tool. It's free. You just type in answergarden.ch and you can create one of these in 10 seconds of your own. So obviously if students are doing the session, they're following along with their own device, they can all put in their responses and we move right along. To do this, you just scroll down the whole way. That's basically the directions. And the teacher's guide has all of this explained. So we're going back to the Revelation of Sinai and Kol Ha'am Ro'im et HaKolot, and that is the very theme of this session. And how do you see sound? You might recognize this spaghetti over here. I might blow it, I might not. Depends on how many family members in my house are sleeping at this time. So that means that the entire nation is seeing sound, and the lapidim is the lightning bolts, and the sound of the shofar, and the mountain is full of smoke. and the people are afraid and they shake. Vayanu'u means and they shake. Vayamdu merachok, and they stand far back. They are shaking. Why are they shaking? So the simple answer or the immediate answer, you think they're afraid. But there might be a deeper answer here, and we're going to be exploring that the rest of the time. Those of you who are following along and would like English, you could just click over here, Psukim with English, or if your students don't learn with Hebrew fluency, so they can click along there. So this sounds like an awesome experience, but what does that actually mean to see sound? So here we have our experimentation, which I did email you about. Did anyone bring these? You did, yeah, David. Anybody else? Hi, Avi. You look familiar. Okay, so David, go ahead and take your bowl and cover, if you did bring these items next to you, cover it with plastic wrap very tightly. And obviously this would be done in the classroom. This is meant as a blended learning session, meaning it's not only device-based. You could do this in a classroom, in a STEM lab, all the way across. Avi, you do look familiar. We must have met at some conference somewhere, no? You're muted.
Thank you. It's very possible. We'll definitely play Jewish geography later.
Okay, great. Okay,
Awesome.
so thank you. Yeah, so feel free to jump in, participate. Avi, David, make it very tight across, so it's kind of like a drum. And then make a little hole, not punching a hole, but just kind of an indentation in the middle. And obviously this can be done with any age, and this was a lot of fun. If you have your sprinkles, you pour them. Whoops, I'm making a mess in my desk. Good thing it's not before Pesach here. You pour these over here on your bowl, and I am making a huge mess, which is always fun for children. And then we are going to experiment with sound. Wow, now I dropped it all over my desk. So whenever you're ready, I can't even blame this one on my children. And we are going to have sound here. So if I hadn't made a big mess and I hadn't made a big mess, it would still be following, it would still be right here on the bowl, and we could hum. Can you see the little sprinkles and what happens to them when we hum? Can everybody see what they're doing? We also have this on video. Is it working? So what are the sprinkles doing as we hum?
Mine's not doing anything, but that might be because it's not sprinkles, it's cereal, and it's kind of big.
Oh, okay. So that's a good exploration, right? Because that is an experiment. Okay, so you could test things out with students and say, well, what happened to your experiment? You could also take the shofar and blow it. Not a very good shofar. But you could do that next to your sprinkles and see how they vibrate. The point is to see sound. If you have sound next to a light item, then you can see it move. So that would be this experiment over here. And you could spend more or less time doing this in the classroom. And then you come to your conclusions. And you could say, use different particles, use quinoa, use rice, use different kinds of sprinkles. And what did we observe? So we saw that it moved potentially, and we're going to look at some videos now about how sound works.
Hey there! Enjoyed those sounds? Well, then let's talk about sound today. Zoom in! Sound is a wave or vibration that travels through three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. And of course, it is something that can be heard. But have you ever wondered, how does sound travel? It's simple. It all starts with a mechanical movement, like pouring hot chocolate in a mug.
Yeah, so you can go through the video, you see it's, child friendly, and it goes through some kind of, child travels through sound, etc. We're going to have a simulator here. Again, if you have this open on your screen, you can press it. And if you're just watching, so what you do first is you press oscillate and it begins to move. You can press loose end and that goes up and down, and you could move it back to fixed end, or you could have no end. And then it gets, you could do a slow motion, you could play with these. Obviously the student is also doing this on their own. And then you can adjust it even more. These are the two words you want to focus on: amplitude, and you can increase that, and frequency. That's the language that we're focusing on here. That's a scientific language that we're focusing on here. How fast it moves and the strength of it moving. So the student does that, and we continue on. So here are some just basic information about sound that the student should then explore. Well, how fast does sound travel? What is the spectrum, and what exactly are sound waves? And then we do it again for light waves, the speed of light. So they're comparing speed of sound and speed of light. Spectrum of light, spectrum of sound. And what exactly are light waves, electromagnetic, and what exactly are sound waves? So they have that comparison. One's compression waves, one's electromagnetic. So they have that language, and they can play with those as much as they want, and there will be more evaluative information there for them. So now we're going to play exactly a little matching game. So I need you guys, maybe Avi, if you could unmute yourself, and you could be our demo student. So which one is this? Can travel through a vacuum.
Okay, what's that? I got to pull back to that out because I was looking at the camera.
You could just get.
Okay.
You got a 50-50 chance.
Light. I have no idea.
Hey, you got it right. Travels fastest.
Light.
Compression wave.
Sound.
Oh, you're good. Oh, it should be sound. There we go. Electromagnetic wave.
Sound. I have no idea. Oh, I didn't get it right.
That's okay. Is not visible.
Sound. I know that one.
Yeah. And can travel through solid.
Sound.
There you go. So then tells the student how many it got right or wrong, and they can replay. Now we're going to try another simulation. So this is a feature called Audio Mix, and you are now working at a company called Audio Mix in a sound studio, which most kids are actually pretty excited about. So are you ready? And the student presses next. Your first job is to fix the shofar blast. So it has a higher pitch and it's louder. We've already experienced some build-up steps that we are able to complete this answer. And here, first we listen to the shofar. So we want to increase, if we want to go back, we forgot the question, we need to increase the shofar sound so it has a higher pitch and it's lighter. That's our question. So what are our choices? We have those 4 choices. Decrease both, decrease one, increase one, or increase both. Andrea, what do you think?
Increase both. Increase both.
Yeah, you could probably say that in 2 languages, or 3 perhaps. When I was in Montreal, I do not speak any French, and it was not easy. Everyone seems to think that everyone speaks French. I speak Hebrew, and that's about it. My husband speaks 5 languages, so I'm okay. Yes, you have to increase both amplitude and frequency, and you can see from his reaction, just take a look at the other way.
Nice.
Yeah, so the child gets some feedback. So there he really needs to go back to the drawing board. So that's kind of just a fun interactive game, and we're gonna have 3 more experiments. These ones are video based, but you could do some of them in the classroom, not all of them. This one, I asked my 15-year-old son when we were working on this, how do you see sound? And he immediately went into his backpack and pulled this out. I don't know if this is familiar to anyone. It's a speaker. It's not his. I was very curious as to why this was in his backpack. And he poured water on it. And I'll just show that real quick again. 3-second video, and it's water jumping on speakers. So to him, when I said seeing sound, that was his immediate and perfect response, a response I could not have given when I was 15. There was no such thing as portable waterproof speakers when I was 15. So this is a question that can change throughout the generations and have different responses for different people. So that was very basic. This one's a little more technical.
I'm going to show you the sound of a clap. And I don't mean some digital depiction of a clap. I mean that when this man's hands come together, you're going to see something that is normally invisible. You're going to see the actual sound wave leaving his hands and traveling outward at 761 miles per hour, the speed of sound. And here it is again. How is this possible? Well, I'll start the explanation not with sound, but with the heat from a lighter. There's a puff of butane, sparks fly, and the fuel ignites. But that shape billowing up from the flame isn't smoke. That's normal air that has been expanded by heat. We're able to see the density change thanks to a technique called Schlieren flow visualization. This technique can be used to see anything that distorts the air, the heat from a hair straightener, for example. Even the heat coming off a human hand. Epidemiologists use it to study sneezes and coughs. Engineers use it to study aerodynamic flow. And sound, well, that's just another change in air density, a traveling compression wave. So Schlieren visualization, along with a high-speed camera, can be used to see it as well. Here's a book landing on a table. The end of a towel being snapped. A firecracker. An AK-47. And of course, a clap.
Sounds a bit more technical, but it gives the students different responses. So we've seen sound through water, which is not mentioned in the Harsina experience, but it could have been there because of the thunder and the lightning and the cloud. So there could have been water. Here you see smoke. And now we're going to see a more technical one, and you'll see which other element this one is. Hello, play. It just takes a second to load there. This is on a feature called Play Pause It, where you can embed questions into a video, and this one focuses also on scientific theory.
I don't know about you, but I've always wanted to see sound waves. So we're here at the Imagination Station, and we've got, of course, our favorite scientist, Carl, with us. Yeah. You know what? Sound waves.
So here you're thinking about what is the question that drives this experiment? So we had water, we had smoke. So this one is obviously going to be fire. So we're just going to skip to the next question.
You're not supposed to be able to see them.
Right, didn't mean to scare you there, but
I loved it.
What we've got
Kind of
here,
warm.
it's a pipe filled with propane gas, just like in your home grill. And on the top, there are a whole bunch of holes that allow the gas to come out. Now, the cool thing is we can pump some sound waves into that tube to set up regions of different high and low pressure.
So what's the hypothesis of this experiment? If any scientists want to chime in, either through chatting or talking, feel free. If not, we'll leave that for discovery. It definitely has something to do with fire and the movement of it.
Okay.
So you see, as I change the frequency, you can get regions where there's low pressure, low pressure, high pressure, low pressure.
So what do you conclude from your observations? And this one, what will happen, the prediction.
Okay.
So you see, as I change the frequency, you can get regions where there's low pressure, low.
Excellent. And which one do you think was more effective? The experiment came to answer the same question, meaning the sound of the fire. Whoops. And the sound, the sound of the fire, the sound of the fire, the sound of the Har Sinai, and different things. There's just a really nice.
Because the higher frequencies had a shorter wavelength, longer frequencies.
I wanted you to hear.
Talk about the fact that sound waves are compressional waves. They're not a little bit.
Oh no, and
Well, and resonate with the tube. High frequencies don't work quite so well, but we do have a little more fun song here.
is that you singing?
That is
you
me.
singing?
So you get the point there with sound. It's also a popular movie, which the movie came out after we made this lesson, so that was actually just pure coincidence. But kids might have seen it. And I do like Queen, the band. So here we have 4 different mediums: fire, solid objects, water, and hot air that is cloudy. So let's take a look at, again, the text from Ma'amad Har Sinai, from the Sinai Revelation, and think of what we've learned now, how this can help us understand the Sinai Revelation story. And again, if you want the English, you can click over here. It was on the 3rd day, there was thunder, lightning, a heavy cloud, the sound of the shofar got louder and louder, which is also something we don't understand. The people were afraid, and Moshe comes out to meet them. The people gathered at the bottom of the mountain. Har Sinai was full of smoke because God came down in fire, and there was smoke, and so much smoke like a furnace. Vayacharad kol hahar ma'od means that the mountain was shaking. So based on what we've learned, what could have caused the mountain to shake?
The sound.
So that's an awful lot of sound for a mountain to shake. So in the beginning, when we saw that the people were shaking, we immediately thought it was from fear. Now the people also might have been shaking from sound. So that gives us a whole new understanding of the text. So both items were shaking. So here the student can post their responses, and feel free to shout out here. Which of the mediums we saw in our experiments are found in the Revelation story? Things like fire, or now you're in your car. Things like, so the student correct, fire, anything else?
I'm very mobile.
I see that. Anything else you want to add to this list? Avi, I don't know what you saw or heard or didn't see. Or anyone else, go ahead and jump in here.
Yeah, I missed too much of it to catch on to it. So.
I'll send you the recording and you can skip around. Anything else you'd want to throw in here?
Shofar, we had some shofar in the sound lab.
Absolutely. Sound lab, I like that. Smoke. The mountain, the Bible, the Torah tells us, was very smoky. Had the lightning. Lightning, and which is light and elements of light. So basically all the elements that we saw already, we saw experimentations of all of these, and we see them going on. So the student submits that, and then they continue on. This is almost nearing the end of the lesson. Obviously, in your own environment, you could make this take as long or as little as you like. It's meant to enrich your classroom environment. You could do this on Shavuot. You could do this before Rosh Hashanah with crowning our king and with the shofar. You can also do it during the Parsha when it comes up in Sefer Shemot. So this could be at different times of year. So here you're supposed to draw an experience that you learned in this session, and these learning things. And this is, again, if you have this on your device, you could draw anything you want. If you want a mountain, maybe shaking. I am not the world's best artist, but it has all these really cool features. You have all of these, ribbon. So maybe these are wow, I'm really not great at this, but kids are actually better at this than I am. So each student should here draw something that they learned in reflection of the sound, the light, the shofar, the fire, the shaking, the fear. They can include all of those things, drops. This is smoke, of course. You knew that. You can even put insert pictures here with this feature. you press that picture, you can insert something from your own computer, which is very cool. So we're going to play a couple of games now to see what you learned. And this is Harsina. Anyone play matching? So this is what it will look like. And I'm going to put it in the chat box. You have to drag it to the correct answer. So this is Vayhi Kol, and there's a line. Shofar Holech Lechazek Ma'od. You have to drag it here, and that's how it works. So I'm going to put that in the chat, and everyone can play, and we'll see how well you do. That's in the chat box, or you could also say it out loud here. I'll walk through it on the board for those of you who are watching, and for those of you who can play it on your own, I do encourage you to do so. So what vibrated at Har Sinai? Or the nation and the mountain, maybe that could be there. Sound can be seen when it passes through here. No, it's not the smoke. The fire, Vayal Ashamno Ke'eshen HaKivshan, that's the smoky, fiery furnace. Sounds were seen at Sinai. Smoke and fire, and electromagnetic goes to this. So, did anyone do better than 63 seconds or 18 seconds? So what I suggest to students is you have to complete the Quizlet under 25 seconds. That's the recommendation.
I got it in like 36.
Oh, okay, not bad, not bad. So we would say, well, then you have to do it again until you get it to 25. And then you know that there's acquisition or collaboration / cheating, either one of those. But as long as they're reviewing it a couple of times in a fun way and they see the pictures, and they can do that. We also play Quizlet Live. Anyone here play Quizlet Live? Ever?
I haven't utilized it. My Vrit Marot do though, so I've seen the students use it, and they really do enjoy it.
Yeah, we've used it in the middle school.
Oh, you're in Miami.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we can have a little bit of cooperation, and this is not often done, but we're going to try playing it with our locations, or I'm going to put you in teams. And basically, you right now, if you do have a phone, if you go to Quizlet.live, or you could do it on this computer as well, and it will put you in teams. Go to Quizlet.live and press these numbers. Obviously, in a classroom, this is easier, but I like to give us a challenge. Yeah.
The tricky part is I am on my phone for the Zoom meeting, so I'm not going to be able to.
No, you'll be fine. Just open another browser. Just type if you want. Yeah, you could just type it into your.
Right.
Yeah.
Bear with me.
Okay, no problem. And the trick, obviously, here is teamwork. This is one of the 4 C's of these 21st century skills: critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. We've tried to hit all of those features in this session. This one will be testing you mostly on collaboration, how you can collaborate with people not even sitting in your room to play a game. So is everybody on?
I am not.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
It tried. It says that there's an error, but I'm trying again. 740.
Okay, we'll just wait another few seconds or so.
There we go.
Okay, we need one more. So actually, I'll also even log in. That's Mr. Bornstein. Can you log in? Sean, you can log in too. Oh, Rifki, you're in. Okay. So what you're going to do is you have to match the answer that you just saw. You're going to get it on your screen. Only one of you on your team has the answer. You must work with your team. You have to talk to them. Who has the answer to this? So you guys can shout over here and shout over each other. That is totally fine. That is the point. Okay. So here we go. So it's Elisa and Avi.
Hi, Avi.
David.
Hello.
Hi, David.
I know.
Okay. There you go. So look at your phones now, or whatever device you logged in. You have to look at it now. It's going to ask you a question.
I don't think I have it.
I'm not sure that I have it.
I have sounds that were seen at Har Sinai. Maybe that's it. Nope, not it.
Let's see. They'll tell us.
Elisa, anything?
What vibrated at Har Sinai? Nope.
Compression waves, air.
I have that. I have this one. That's sound waves.
Okay.
Nope.
I don't have the match on this one. I remember it was how can you see sound?
There we go. I got it.
Electromagnetic compression waves.
I have sound can be seen when it passes through here, but I don't think that's it.
No, I have some Hebrew, and I don't speak Hebrew to know, but it might be.
Ashan? You have Ashan?
Yes.
Avi, are you there at all?
I got kicked off. I'm trying to get back on. Sorry. I'm killing you here.
Okay.
Welcome, Michal. I'm sorry about the delay. How are you?
All right, we're gonna. Yeah.
Hey, I'm playing all by myself.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back.
Me too.
Okay, Michal,
I
we're
think I have this match. What vibrated Har Sinai?
I've got some sort of clouds going here. I don't know.
Where's the?
I've got this one too.
Yeah, us.
Okay, we're about to win.
Okay, Avi, we're losing.
Mine are all blank now.
Yeah, well, they kicked us off, okay? No, the odds were stacked against me. No, you know.
Good job, guys.
So we're going to welcome Michal. We're going to play it one more time so Avi can get back in.
Nice.
You're going to have to open your phone and go to Quizlet.live or your computer. Type this into your device, Quizlet.live. We're going to play one more time and give everyone a chance, hopefully. And hopefully everyone is online. So Quizlet.live and type in this code. And Michal, you're going to play a game, and you have none of the background knowledge, so you really have a big advantage there. Michal's also in San Francisco. Do you know David?
Oh, I do know Michal. Hi, Michal. It's David Neufeld from Jewish Learning Groups.
Hi, David. It's so great to see you.
It's been a while. We used to work together a lot when she was at CBJ many years ago.
Oh, David, this is such a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice to meet you.
Right.
Okay, well, you guys can get together and he can tell you all about the lesson. So, it was about sound and seeing sound and how sound can travel through fire, water, smoke, etc. We need at least 4 players. So if you get a question on your screen and only one of you on your team has the answer. So that we're testing your 4 C's, your communication skills here among the whole group who have to complete this game from 10,000 miles apart. So Quizlet.live and then write 851665. So who said you play? Oh, Rasag said you played this, right? You play it in Ivrit?
Sorry, talking with me? Sorry.
Okay, one of you said that.
Yes. Yeah, RESG does it. I know that we do it in Ivrit. I heard someone else say that they do it in middle school, but I know that the Ivrit teachers utilize it.
Okay.
Here too, the Hebrew teachers use it a lot.
Oh, so Andrea, are you logging on?
I'm here, yeah, but I don't know where you put the code.
You type into your computer Quizlet.live and then you write the code.
I chose to do it on my phone so that I can watch everyone.
Okay, I'm just going to press play, and you guys are going to be put in teams. So David and Michal, that worked out
What
well.
do you know?
There we go. I know, so I'm going to let you do all the heavy lifting.
Okay, you guys are going to have to communicate big time because Michal has no idea what's going on. Okay, Michal, look at your phone. It tells you the question, and only you or David have the right answer. Only one of you can have the right answer at a time.
I don't have anything about shofar, Michal, so you might have it.
No, do you have it?
Shofar, vayikol.
I don't think so.
So tap that with your thumb.
When it passes through here. Oh, I think I have.
I mean, what vibrated at Har Sinai? Is that it?
No, because that was the people in the mountain. I've got humming loudly. I've got how can you see sound? Sounds that were seen at Har Sinai, but it's only one thing.
So this the nation in the mountain. That's what vibrated at Sinai.
Okay.
Oh man! All right, somebody just click something so we can.
All right. Oh, I got it wrong. Oh no.
Andrea, I'm going to show you the question.
I think I've got this one.
Okay.
Oh, somebody had the.
We are doing it, but I still can't put the code.
So Mifal, this one, make sprinkles jump, was humming loudly or something like that.
Loudly.
That's by heat cold.
You probably have that
Yeah.
because I don't.
Make sprinkles.
Sorry, I wasn't looking here.
These are the questions.
Okay.
I don't know if I
So,
logged
this is going to be the things that you saw, the sounds that we're seeing.
I think it's this.
Okay.
So if you tap the humming loudly card, then that'll give us the answer. Mifal.
Air compression waves, air vibrates.
Like sound waves.
What was the
Humming
code?
loudly.
I logged
Yeah.
out.
Okay.
I don't know. I did.
Got it.
What was the code? Madar.
Okay. Oh, that's what vibrated to Harsina.
Are you out now?
The code is up here,
David,
85165.
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, I
This
logged.
is you, Noah. I don't have it.
1 6 6
There we go.
8 5 1.
You can't. Okay.
Oh, well, no, Hanavi are doing one. Oh, there we go. Go for it.
There, got one.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
I have
Okay.
this one. It's how can you see sound? Oh, there it is.
Nice.
So that's Quizlet Live. If you create any Quizlet account, which is also free, you just put the terminologies in, and you have learn, write, test. It really is a fantastic game. And then Quizlet Live, my students absolutely do not get enough of. We spent way too long playing it in my closet. So that was hopefully a fun review. Any feedback on Quizlet Live? You like doing it. So the grand finale is this Padlet. Based on the description in the Torah and what we have learned about, use your makerspace if you have one. Use any audio-visual tools. Use your phones. Use your animation tools to depict the Sinai experience. So this is what it is. This is a summary of what we've done. And this is basically what you would introduce to the students and say, well, what do you want to do? Now that you've learned this, what are you going to do about it? So I put that in the chat box as well. So can you build and record the sounds of Sinai? Do you have building equipment in your classrooms, in your maker spaces? Do you have programmers who can help on staff, who can help program the sound of Sinai? Again, the sound, we focused on the sounds were so loud that the people shook and the mountains shook. And the fire shook, everything was shaking. So how can you program that, build that, animate it, create an app for it, or add something? So somebody else here wrote create. You can all post your own responses here by pressing the button. I put it in the chat box also. And you could also open it up to the classroom. You know, what would you do? Or if there are any science teachers with us right now, how would you now reveal this to your students so that they can go somewhere with it that you that would include both Judaism and science. So I see someone posted here. Oh, you're in the middle of posting. Okay. So thank you, David, for posting. And I put a bunch of animation tools here that you can use. If you know your own, then you can do that too. Did you write something else here? Build something. I'm imagining that's coming in. So you can write. So Andrea, which one of these is appealing to you?
I like the coding.
The coding? Are you you're a programmer and you know how to do that?
We do coding at the school, so it would be interesting to code with sounds, sound effects.
Okay, fantastic. Anyone else? David, what you wrote build with the poles. You liked our experiment? We thought we had a bowl with plastic wrap and we poured sprinkles on it and we hummed and blew a shofar next to it, and we saw that the sprinkles jumped and vibrated when we made those sounds. So that was kids all ages can do that, and these are very simple devices in the classroom. Avi, what's going on in your mind?
Honestly, the only one that I could see myself for sure being comfortable with would be the building and recording the sounds of Sinai. And,
that's totally fine.
Yeah.
What would you do that on? Have you figured that part out yet, or that's still that's an upcoming attraction?
I haven't necessarily figured it out. I think a lot of it, meaning as far as what, let me clarify the question. As far as what would I use to have them do it, or what program would I utilize?
Either one.
Okay, so I don't have an answer for the program at all. And honestly, I think that part of it is allowing the students to decide what can make those noises or what they can use, because I don't want to limit them in their creativity.
Absolutely. This is a launching pad. This Padlet is a launching pad to summarize the lesson. What have you done? Now that we've seen all these experiments, we saw the sound experiment, the fire experiment, the water experiment. Now that you've seen it, what are you going to do with it? Now that you've read the Tanakh, the Sukkim again, how are you going to merge those two? For sure. Rifki or Noach or Mr. Bornstein, or Ms. Bornstein, I believe. Any thoughts about what you would do here? Somebody wrote create a video using iMovie sound effects. Fabulous. They can even act it out.
I try to add something to the Padlet, but it's not coming up.
There's something over here, creating a video, an Android app.
Oh yeah, that's me. Okay, Android, yeah. We have used Android App Inventor. Would be nice to, MIT App Inventor, we're coding. It'd be nice to see it on there.
Absolutely. Okay, so going back to the lesson, just reviewing all of these. Here's the drawing feature, Michal, that you missed, and they put in here, and parts of Tanakh. All of these are, again, to combine Judaic studies with science, with technology, with engineering, with math. Asking you, my very dear audience, do you feel that this hit those goals? And, yes, no, why, what's a reflection? If you don't mind, David, if I put you on the spot and ask you first.
Sorry, ask the question again.
Did it hit JSTEM, what we're calling JSTEAM or JSTEM? Did it hit Judaic studies, science, technology, engineering, math, or
Yes,
any or all?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So what was what was a takeaway for you?
I mean, the content area is not anything that I really, deal with on a day-to-day basis. Mm-hmm. And I'm not don't have that kind of science background, but, certainly the takeaway would be that whatever the lesson, there's, interesting, cool technological solutions for it. And I like the way that, we sort of saw the sound in the simulator that you have up now, and then also got to see the videos that, and then connecting it to Sinai kind of all worked nicely for me.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So for me, I was thinking that this is really a wonderful opportunity to truly integrate all the subjects with all the teachers. And it's almost as if maybe depending on the school, the Jewish studies team or the Jewish studies teachers sort of present this to the rest of the faculty at a meeting and say, how can we integrate? I was thinking we could do this with drama and the drama electives and drama classes, that they could be the ones to animate. And it's not just limited to something as Kol HaShofar, but also when Joseph first sees Ben and he says that they use their eyes to hear and their lips to truly connect. So there are many opportunities that how the possibilities are endless. Every Friday we do Kabbalat Shabbat, which many schools do. Parents come in and they do a little mini performance. And this could be the culmination of all the classes integrating together. I think that there's art that's possible with emojis, for example, and together expressing through art. And in Hebrew, how often do we in Hebrew use the infinitives, likfotz, litzok, litzchok, right? And this could also fit in together. I think it's a great opportunity to integrate STEAM and then some.
Thank you. Happy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is great, Smadar.
Okay, thank you. It's so good to see you again. Too.
Right. I like the way that connects to what, because we usually the Torah is because it's hard, it's hard for the kids, but when we connect to our lives, to daily life and with problems to solve in our daily life, they'll get more engaged on all the activities and they'll understand more about the Torah portion itself.
Yeah, well, that's exactly the point, to make it look real and to actually help our Judaism understand science and help science understand our Judaism, is to help them merge instead of keeping them siloed, which they often are.
And if you're only talking about one topic like sound, you can really bring a lot of things out, even though it's only one topic. And that helps a lot if we can just tell the Chumash teacher, just pick one topic and zero in on that, and it can help a lot.
Okay, fantastic. So where are we going with this? So again, at JETS, we are aiming to put together a bunch of sessions over the course of every month. We will be uploading additional sessions like this. This is what's coming next, what's at the end of the rainbow. So the sign of the rainbow, was it natural? Was it supernatural? What did it mean? And over here, where does it come in? To Parshat Shavua, it can come in at Noach, it can come in at light. The role of gluten in Yetziat Mitzrayim, this one's called rising to the occasion. What really did they eat? You know, there's actually an extremely interesting historical fact about who were the first creators of leavened bread. And it does have something to do with ancient Egypt. And this involves a taste test with different types of crackers and bread and gluten-free and non-gluten-free. And especially since there is so much awareness of that nowadays. So seeing, again, the biblical historical aspect to that. And what is sourdough, all those things. After that is having a blast at Sinai. That's the one you just experienced. We have the Jewish tent. Let's go camping. Planning a camping trip on Sukkot by a lightweight portable sukkah that does meet all the requirements of Torah. And we have 3D imaging for that and design. And Light My Fire, talking about different light bulbs that can and can't be used on Shabbat. Building an ark, an eco-friendly ark, and using math and 3D design, really designing the interior of the ark. We know a little bit about the exterior. We don't know much about the interior. And we also have professional development for teachers on the J-Hub, what we're calling it as a J-Hub. So we'll have these 2 sessions will be like this. You'll log on to our website and you'll just press continue play. We'll have short little itty-bitty videos that will guide teachers through using some of these tools. There'll be video tutorials for every single aspect of this lesson because I won't be there, but it'll be any way that you'd like to join. We'll also be having JSTEAM events. So our first in Manhattan Day School in the end of February. So anyone who is a participant of the J-Hub comes for free. And if you do not participate in the J-Hub, you can still come to the event, but there will be a small fee. So that's basically what is the J-Hub, what I just showed you. This is just a flyer. You get all these things. It costs $350 until December 20th, then it costs $390. And you get everything you just saw. And this membership is good for 2 years since you are the first. So if you don't sign up now, next year you'll have to pay again for the same thing. Well, there'll be more stuff next year. But this is a real...
$320 before December.
$350 before December 20th.
Okay.
That's next week.
That's next week, yeah. If that's a struggle in terms of timing, then, be in touch with me. If you don't have enough time to talk to people at work about it, then...
Can all my science teachers share this subscription?
School. That is for the entire school. Okay, yeah, every student. Every student. So next year, the price is going to go way up. Well, I'm not, yeah. So this year, it's way low because you're considered charter members, you're our pioneers, and we do want to work with you. We want to hear your feedback. We'll have webinars throughout the year to show you what's up and what's new, and we want to hear you. I will be talking to schools individually, checking in what's been successful, what isn't. We'll also have a platform where every school can share what they've done and everyone can learn from each other. It will be private only for the people involved in the J-Hub.
Madara, can you send this to us to show the principal?
Sure.
Yeah, that would help me as well.
Sure. I'll send you the recording, the flyer, and the coming attractions, and the information about the event. I'd love to do one in California if anybody there wants to host it, so we can be in touch about that too.
Where's the event in New York?
Manhattan Day School.
What date do you remember?
February 27th, 3:30 to 5:30.
Thank you.
We just got that confirmed yesterday, so we haven't yet made a flyer, but you will be getting one about that too. And they are obviously members. Manhattan Day School, any school that hosts has to be a member. We will not be at a school that's hosting us. So that's we can do one in Florida. We can do it in California. We travel. I travel. I come to the States 3 times a year. I've been to every city that's currently participating right now, and I plan on going back. So, just be in touch. Whoever wants to host the next event, happy to.
So, Madara, maybe you can come and talk to my whole school, not just the high school, but you can talk to K through 12.
Sure.
I think all of us, we're a couple, 3 integrators, so maybe it'll be good for all of us to meet with you again.
Absolutely. And we are offering for younger grades also, if any of you have heard of Jewish Interactive, JITAP, they have a JSTEAM program, and those for K through 6. I don't know about K, but definitely 1 through 6. And those of you who participate in the hub also will have access to their programs and things. That was confirmed today, so I don't yet have that in a fancy flyer, but we'll get that out. We'll get that out shortly to you as well.
Amazing.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll stay on for any questions. If not, thank you so much for coming, for participating.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mother.
Thank you so much. Have a good.
Thank you.
I was just gonna ask, what is the platform that you used that you shared with us where we could follow along with the lesson? Is that something that you guys have, or is that where you said if you have this, you can set this up in 2 seconds? This platform here, yeah.
No, just this one. This is Answer.
Oh, the word cloud.
The Answer Garden you could set up in 2 seconds. Go to answergarden.ch. That is to
Answer Garden.
Press plus, and you type your question here. What did you see at Sinai?
Yeah.
And you.
It's useful.
There you go. Right. That's it. That's 2 seconds. This costs $1,000.
Okay.
So that's it. It's called an authoring tool, and Jets has invested in that, and that's what looks so beautiful and provides these gorgeous graphics and embedding, and that we've invested in, and we've trained members of our staff to design courses on the authoring tool. So that is a different skill. Yeah.
That's a whole thing. All right.
That's what we do at Jets. So in case you needed to know. So this is called also like a blended learning course. If you want a blended learning course on, I want a blended learning course on holidays, okay, be in touch with us and we can help design that for you.
Great, wow.
Or if you read any subject, we customize blended learning courses. I have a whole other session on that. I could send you the webinar for that too. That we do as well. But that's customized because every school, if we go around the room here, every school will say, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. Right. So that's much harder to make an umbrella course for.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm happy to stay on for questions. If not, great to see you. I wish everyone a good one.
Thank you very much, Smita.
Bye. Thank you. Toda raba.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Great to see you.
Thank you.
Very great to meet you.
This is what we just done.
What this is, I got.